too. Here they come now. Jesus and Axel together. All right, I was going to have you sit beside Lou, and then you guys...
Yeah, well, clearly with that entrance, we have to see. We have to be.
All right, so I've just been informed, if you have any questions about any future episodes about Jesus, Jesus' lips are sealed. You cannot, because you got to watch the show, right? I mean, obviously, okay? But you're not going to hear anything about that. So I'm going to start the ball rolling, and then you guys can come on up and ask your questions too. But I'll start asking the two of you. Doesn't matter who answers first, but before you guys were casted, of course you were in the 3rd season, and you just came up with the 6th season here, Tom, as well. Did you guys watch Walking Dead? Were fans of it before being casted in?
Yes.
Yes?
No.
Did you not watch?
No, it got to a point where there's so much to catch up on. So if you haven't watched it from the beginning, it's a lot to catch up on. So I have watched it from the beginning now, but it's kind of tough to get through because I don't think it's a binge watch show really. Like I think it works really well that it has that week in between each episode. So it actually took me a few months to watch from the beginning to the end.
Can you say it again, Jesus? Because I'm lost in your eyes.
Oh, that's
Anyway, let's get the floor over here and come on up to the microphone. We don't want it to be like a talk. So, have any questions for Tom or Lou? Come on up to the microphone.
Step right up.
We got your mother. It looks like they're. Looks like the Virgin Mary. She's like, no, I'm not. I'm far from virgin. No, I'm just joking. I'm joking. Just because of your age. I'm joking. Okay, what's your name? Where are you from?
Okay, my name is Colleen. I'm from Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
And my question is, if zombies were real, would you be wearing adult diapers all the time?
I'm wearing them right now.
I think the truth is yes, I probably would.
Because I would.
Thank you very much. Take the
Thanks.
microphone up to you.
Hi, I'm Colton. I'm from Rochester, New York. Question for Tom. I know you can't talk about kind of coming up, but are you a fan of the comics? And are there any moments coming up that you're really looking forward to?
So it's another thing. I hadn't read the comics either,
Okay.
but I'm totally up to date now.
Sure.
And now I can't wait each month for the next one to come out.
Sure.
What I've been saying is that I really hope that I get to do all the cool stuff that the character does in the comics because he has a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
He does. And they do like to remix things on the show, so nothing's ever guaranteed. But they do also care a lot about the fans and about the comic book fans as well as the fans of the show. And I was really worried, actually, about the introduction and everything because I do want to do the best job I can and I want to honour the comic book fans and stuff as well. So I was really happy when it went down so well. And they did remix the whole entrance of the character, but it seems that they did it in the right way. And yeah, I was kind of flying by the seat of my pants the whole time because I hadn't watched the show or read the comic books, and so I had to trust in Scott Gimple and Kirkman and everyone just to pat me on the head and say like it's going well and you're doing a good job. But I'm happy that everyone's enjoying the character so far, and yeah, hopefully they go away with the comic books because that seems to be the way that the show is going right now, is following the All Out War path. So
Jesus is my favorite character from the book, so thank you.
Yay.
Good job. So.
Thank you very much for your question. Next, please.
Hello, I'm Amanda. I'm from St. Catharines, and my questions are, would you trust your characters to get you through the zombie apocalypse if it happened? Like, would you trust Axel and would you trust Jesus to get you through it?
Would I personally trust my character?
Would you be able to team up with him in the zombie apocalypse and bet your survival on Axel?
No. Good question.
I would, yeah. I think
It's Jesus. Of course you would.
Yeah. I think that's what's quite exciting about the character is that I don't think we've seen a lot of what he's capable of either. So, yeah, I would. But I think in the beginning, because everyone was a bit like, oh, we're not sure if he's good or bad. And a tricksy kind of character. But in the end, he shows his true colours.
I think the same with Axel. The thing about it is he fundamentally a humanitarian and sort of is of the same belief system prior to the apocalypse, so that he is bewildered, and I don't think he's moving fast enough to understand, or still hopes this will all go away when he wakes up.
Then could you get Axel through the zombie apocalypse then?
No, entirely not. Unless I had Michonne with me hanging out. She didn't talk, so it's fate worse than death. So. But you know, that's interesting because there was a storyline. You know, they always build the storylines alternatively for the characters, and they just organically pick and choose which way it's going to go, kind of how it's going with y'all. And you know, Axel had some storylines that weren't so sweet. There was going to be some time spent in the woods with Beth, and it wasn't pleasant. And we never get to execute those entirely. Maybe go a different way. So there's a lot that's a lot of ingredients that aren't in the recipe that don't always show up.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, please.
Hi, my name.
You can bring it down to you, honey. Yeah, just tilt it down. There you go.
Hi, my name's Haley. I'm from Milverton, and if you could pick your favorite person on the set, who would you pick?
The favorite character, who they would like to pick?
Mine's a payroll lady that comes She's the sweetest lady. She's off on Monday. Friday, she is so nice.
Yeah, I think the camera operator can say the ones that make you look good. Generally, like your favorite person on set has to be the director or something. You know, someone who's like steering the ship and helping you through it. Because there are so many different aspects to what's going on that you need to have at least one or two people that you can go, okay, you have to help me out here. It's a weird show for me because it shoots on film, which it has done since the beginning, which is a choice by Darabon. And I've only shot on film once or twice before, and I'm very used to, when you shoot on tape or something, you can go and look at the monitor afterwards and see what you just shot. And I quite like doing that because I like to see how the scene is working and stuff, but on this you can't because they don't record it. So I make sure that the director, I'm very friendly with the director, so he's letting me know what's going on and how it's looking and stuff. And there's a lot of trust involved in that.
My favorite character, just to answer your question, is Rick. I love Andrew Lincoln, and I love watching him work, and I love how he is the captain of the team. He's the quarterback, and he sets the tone, has since day one. And he's tireless with his efforts, and it brings the bar up for everyone else to come to work, and he makes sure everybody's feeling good and ready to go, and all questions are answered. So he's the most fun with that.
Every day for 6 years.
Yeah, ridiculous. And it's really heavy lifting for him. It's amazing. There's very few of us that can do that, and he does every day.
And Tom, what about favorite character for you?
I've liked Glenn a lot because I think he's been the character that's really shown a lot of growth from beginning to end, and with his relationship with Maggie, and he's just a really good moral center for the show. I think he's a good conduit for the audience in the show because he's not been able to deal with it, and he's like slowly gotten better. And especially in this last season, you know, I came on the show and they had that scene in the episode with him and Heath where it was the first time he'd ever killed a human, and I was like, oh really? He's never done that before, and he really has had a really interesting part through the show. So yeah, I think Glenn's for me the most interesting character in a lot of ways.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Candy from Jamestown, New York. You partly answered my question. My question's for Lou. I feel like Axel was just starting to really develop his character pretty well, and then all of a sudden he was gone. Did you know that his character was short-lived, or did you?
Well, I certainly knew the blueprint of the comic book that was going to happen. I also, you know, we're all brought in under the understanding that this is going to end. It's what the nature of the show is. Sadly, it's a lot like life. I think we know that, but we like to dismiss that. But it comes and it goes. But I was personally told 3 weeks in advance that this was going to happen. And you do what I call the denial dance, which is you come up with a new plan. And you go to the powers that be, Glenn Mazzara and Scott Gimple and Gail Ann Hurd, and you give them an alternative. You know, like, this Alan guy's a real jerk, let's get rid of him. And so then you realize that it's for real, and you want to honor your character for the audience, and you must do the best job possible. So that's where your focus is, and I was really happy with how we did that with Axel. But nobody likes it. It's not fun. It's not fun for when you're on the show because it's a team. The show is great because it's a family and it works as a family unit, a really good family, a good community everywhere. And when you lose a team player, it hurts the team. If the Blue Jays lost Batista for a year, it would hurt the team. And so it's hard for Andrew Lincoln to lose a player on his team. And you have to replace that guy. Are we going to be as good without Herschel? Are we going to be as good without Daryl? I'm not hired by AMC. I can say that, right? So yeah, it's not easy leaving, but you have, for the audience, you have to do it great. I don't think anyone's left quietly. You know, it's always affected of you all. So, and that's an honor. You know.
Thank you. All I can say is I don't think I have any fingernails left waiting for August.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to do a follow-up just for a second, though. How did you find out you were going to get shot in the head and killed?
I got a call from the showrunner at the time was Glenn Mazzara, and I was assuming we were going to have a nice visit about my storyline. Because the call before that, the 2 days before, was about the whole Axel's going to take Beth, and then the next call was like, dude, sorry, you got a bullet in the head. Didn't fly in the writer's room. So you know, you get told, and then please don't say anything because we're going to sort of break it to the cast. And then it wasn't decided. It was so strange because then there was a lot of conversation in support of Axel and maintaining him. And Andrew Lincoln went to the powers that be and said, let's reconsider this. And then the governor was showing up, you see. And he had to draw blood when he showed up, otherwise who is he? So they didn't know who they were going to go with, and then there were some people on the show who were regulars that were targets, and I was privy to that conversation. And so finally, when it was determined it would be Axel, the cast was made aware, they would come up to you and say, oh man, I'm so sorry. And I was like, dude, you have no idea how close it was to being you. It is a process. And, it's not easy, but we all got to do it.
All right, please.
My name